Ayo, what's good? It's your boy Prince. You're watching Cook It Up. Today we're gonna try something new. We're gonna be reverse searing some steak, but we're gonna do it a little different than what you might be used to. We're gonna see if we can get a reverse sear using an oven and a wok. Let's cook it up. Now I got these steaks from Costco, and them Costco cuts can get thick. But that's perfectly fine because the reverse sear is one of the best methods for cooking thick cuts. First you go low and slow with indirect heat, then you sear it off at the end for a nice crust. The first thing I'm going to do is trim the fat. I do like keeping some of it on to render for extra flavor. Today we're working with choice New York strip, and I'm going to have to admit, these Costco steaks got pretty good marbling for choice. Always remember to look for good marbling when you're out buying steaks. The next thing I'm gonna do is salt my steaks. Then I'm gonna let them sit in the fridge overnight. Make sure you hit it with salt on both sides, and don't forget the edges too. Now we're just gonna wrap these bad boys up and stick them in the fridge. Now in the meantime, you gotta have some sauce to go with that steak, right? So I'm gonna do my take on a garlic horseradish sauce. First, you're gonna need some Japanese mayo, which is basically mayo on crack. For the horseradish, we're gonna substitute with wasabi. Then we're gonna follow it up with some garlic, some salt, some smoked paprika, lemon zest, and a squeeze of lemon juice. Mix that all up and you'll have an amazing sauce to go with your amazing steaks. This sauce goes on just about everything. You can put it on sandwiches, you could put it on chicken katsu. I'm sure it would be dank on fried fish too. Now when you take your steaks out the next day, you're gonna notice that all the salt has been sucked into the steak. Before we start the cooking process, don't forget to season your steaks. Today we're going with one of the most basic recipes there is out there. Garlic powder and black pepper. That's really all you need. For better cuts, I would say use even less seasoning. You might only need salt. Sometimes you only need salt and black pepper, you know? But that's really all preference, and that's really up to you. And don't forget, get all the sides. The next thing we're gonna do is stick them in the oven at 250 degrees for about 45 minutes. My advice is to check the temperature about halfway through to see how much more time you need. Now you're going to want to target an internal temperature between 120 and 130 degrees because we're going to be finishing it off in the wok, which will add more heat. Today we're going to be using olive oil and butter. If the wok starts to get too hot, not a big deal at all. All you got to do is lift the wok off the flame. I got the wok hot, dumped out the excess oil, and only used a splash when the wok was hot and ready to sear. In Asian cuisine, I don't think I've ever seen a whole steak. That's probably why you never heard of a wok seared steak. But clearly, it works. Don't forget to render the fat. The oven wok combo would be a great reverse searing method for people who don't own a grill, sous vide, or cast iron. After the sear, this is what they look like. And I can assure you the steaks were not this dark in person. It has something to do with the lighting when you're filming steak. You'll see when we cut into it. Look at that, boy. Look at how the meat fibers are just pulling itself apart, and I'm literally doing nothing. All I'm doing is gently cutting this steak and the meat's just tearing apart on itself. And you can tell how soft it is and the juices are running. And man, like, usually to get something this soft, you gotta tenderize it, you gotta pound it with a mallet. But man, we let this go low and slow, seared it on the wok, and this is the result. And I am pretty happy with it. If anything, I would have liked it a little pinker, maybe a tint lighter, but I ain't gonna complain. I'll take this all day. The hardest part about this video was having to watch this over and over while I was editing. Now for something like this, I like cutting it up into slices like this so it's easier to share. And you know, that is a lot of steak for one person. And we had like about 4 people that day, so 2 steaks, 4 people. It was kind of the perfect ratio. We also had focaccia bread, freshly baked focaccia bread. I don't have it pictured here, but it was so good with the steak. We made little steak sandwiches out of it. And yeah, don't forget that horseradish sauce on the side too, because when you put that all together in a sandwich, it is so good, man, I'm telling you. Alright, so once you're done slicing it up, there's only one thing left to do, and that's plate and serve. Now I know this is different than my usual content. Obviously I didn't go out there and catch this cow, but if you like what you see, leave a comment with some feedback and I'll keep doing it, man. If y'all like videos like this, there's definitely gonna be more to come. But for now, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Let's cook it up.